Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Schmidt's Samber Ranch. So we're going to do Deer Stories Part 2. And this is the story. This is the buck. Everybody names their deer. This is the Goat Barn buck. And the reason it's the Goat Barn buck is about 70 yards straight, well, northwest of me is the Goat Barn. And this deer was shot about 150 yards past the Goat Barn. So right here on this farm that we live on. Our house sits right back in here, just to kind of orient you guys. And we've got, you guys have seen it, we've got a couple shops down here and our house is up there. And so he was shot just right down here behind our house, basically. And probably my favorite deer as far as his rack. He's, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But I just like, you know, it's just, I like his horns and the way they're put together. Probably my favorite deer as far as his rack. And he's got a pretty unique story. Like I said, shot right down here on opening morning of rifle season, which we're about, this is early November, we're about 2 weeks, this Saturday we'll be 2 weeks away from rifle season. And this is Wednesday, so a couple of weeks away from rifle season. And in northwest Oklahoma, the rut is just starting to kind of ramp up. I saw a buck last night locked up with a doe. So if you hear those leaves, that's Drake. He's helping us video this evening. And so anyway, this deer, it's probably been 15 years ago, probably. But that morning I had hunted here on this place, and then my hunting buddy from high school, who has a 40 acres straight north of here, was hunting up there on his 40. And I had hunted here, and it was probably 10 o'clock in the morning, mid-morning or something. And I had gotten off of my stand back here on the 9, we call it, and I was down here by the Goat Barn. And at that time we had goats. And, or if we didn't, we'd just gotten rid of them. But I was down here hanging out, waiting for Mark, my hunting buddy, to get done, and he was going to come down here and meet. And at that time, I think you still had to check your deer in at a check station. So, which I wish they still did here, because that was one of the best things about deer season, was shooting something like this and taking it to the check station and, you know, getting to see what everybody else had shot. And that's gone. It's all online now. I wish it wasn't. But he was going to meet me here, and we were probably going to go into the quick stop and see what everybody had gotten and get us a coffee or donut, whatever. But I was down here waiting for Mark, and my sister, Namie, came in our driveway here, which our driveway runs right behind me here. And then to the south is a highway. So that on the, that kind of, we live in a block of woods here that's probably 15 acres or so. And on the south is the highway. And then to the north is an open field that I plant rye in, and it wraps around to the west. So this little block of woods here is kind of isolated from more timber to the north of us. There's 70 acres of timber to the north of us. So I was down here, my sister pulls in, and she sees me down here by the Goat Barn, and she pulls up. And by the way, Namie, I know you're watching, thanks. Regular viewer of Schmidt's Samber Ranch. But she pulls up and she says, hey, when I was coming down the highway here, a big buck crossed the road in front of me and came over on your place, which puts him right back in here. And at that point, I'm thinking, if he's in this block of woods, he's either going to have to, if he continues on his direction, now he could have turned around and went across the highway or whatever, but if he continued, he was either going to cross the driveway right back here behind me, which they used to do, or there's about 150-yard opening from this block of woods across the rye field to the next block of woods. So he's either going to cross there or there. So and then Mark showed up about that time, and I was telling him, hey, Namie says there's a big deer in these woods. So, I mean, at that time, he's within shooting range of me if I could see him in here. You know, I don't know where he is, but so him and I are standing around doing, you know, BSing, and I had my gun, I put my orange on, Mr. Game Warden. I had my orange on, I had my orange hat on, and had my rifle, and was ready, you know, if he came through here while we were sitting here talking. And then two guys that I worked with at the time pulled in. So at this point, there's four of us standing right down here by the goat barn, and talking whatever, and I told them the story about the big deer and that we were on the lookout for him down here. And I don't remember how long we stood there. Not long, really. Probably we were talking for 15 minutes maybe. And one of us, and I don't remember which one, but looked up, and this deer was walking right out across that opening. And he wasn't running, he was just walking leisurely across there with four of us standing right out here in the open talking. And I was prepared for that situation. I had my gun, had it loaded, and so when I saw him, I lined up on him, and I had a fence. I laid my gun across the fence there and shot. And I remember Mark said, "You smoked him." And I actually, what I did was I hit, he was walking, and I should have whistled maybe to stop him, but maybe he stops, maybe he doesn't. But I shot at him, and I hit him right back here in the spine, and that paralyzed his hind legs. And you know what, that's not the ideal situation. You want to hit here, of course, but I didn't, you know. And I just tell you what happened. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. His hind end went down, and he got back up on his front legs, and he was trying to move himself with his front legs. So I had to shoot him again. And so I put another round in, and I shot, and I missed. And because I got three guys standing there in this situation, you know, but anyway, I miss. I'm like, holy smokes, I think I missed him. So I put another round in and shot, and I missed. So the gun only holds 4. So I've fired 3. And you know, you don't want these animals to suffer. You want them to expire quickly. So I had 1 shot left, and I just missed twice at 150 yards. So I crossed the fence and got closer, considerably closer, and shot him, and he expired. But that's the story of the goat barn buck. And did I count this earlier? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That counts. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I probably did count that. But my favorite deer probably, and just fun story and good memories. So thank you guys for watching, and cut.